I talk about it a lot. Sometimes we do things just for the sake of the tribe, just for the sake of acceptance. But what happens if we break away from all that? What's possible for us if we break away from all that? Today we're going to hear exactly what David Goggins has to say about this. Episode 1080, Joe Rogan Experience. I'm Coach Colin, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you want the absolute best insights to the podcasts and videos you love, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
You find resistance from that amongst other guys that didn't like that you were making them uncomfortable? Because that is something that there's a natural instinct that people have when someone's working harder than them to somehow or another diminish that person.
Well, I know that a lot of guys don't like me for a lot of reasons, and I realize that. I am a guy that doesn't care if you like me or not. And when you're an alpha male and you're against other alpha males, and we eat our own. Alpha males eat their own. And I love that shit. Let's fucking go, man. I want to eat. Hey, man, I'm all about that kind of mentality. But I would sometimes take it to another level. You know, I wasn't part of a good old boy network. I didn't want to be part. I wanted to be David fucking Goggins. For too long in my life, and it got me in trouble. For too long in my life, I wanted to be accepted. Growing up, I lied. I fucking did what I could. If you fucking like UFC and I didn't, I love it. I love it, man. Let's go fucking watch it, man. Be my friend. Be my buddy. That fucking weak ass shit. I found out through this path of life, who is David Goggins? Who am I? So going through I did it alone. There was no fucking trophy on the fucking wall on the mantle. That trophy's in my fucking brain. No one helped me get there. No one paid my fucking bills. No one did shit for me. No one ran those fucking miles, lost that fucking weight, went through I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, it's who I am, man. A very competitive, ultra competitive dude that take it what you want, man.
I call that personal sovereignty.
Exactly.
And there's not a lot of people that have that.
That's me.
There's a lot of people that change who they are depending upon what people want from them.
And that's me.
Yeah, that's important, man. And most people struggle their whole life to find out who they are. Struggle their whole life to find out what defines them, what they actually enjoy and what they don't.
You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself.
Yeah.
You'll find it real quick.
That is the thing, right? And that's one of the things that I've gotten from paying attention to you is that you what you're preaching, what you're talking about is finding yourself through struggle.
That's it. It's the only way to find yourself. You don't find yourself, if you like bench pressing and you bench press all the fucking time, what are you finding out? If you like to swim, that's all you want to do is swim, what are you finding out? Put that, people always, people talk about triple down on your fucking strengths.
Right.
That's the fucking weakest shit in the world. No, triple down on your fucking weaknesses.
Yeah.
Find out something about yourself. You already know the good shit. You already know the happy shit.
Right.
That's why on my Facebook page, everybody goes, why don't you talk about good times? You know how to get through that shit, motherfucker. You don't need a fucking, you don't need no one to tell you how to get through. It's happy.
Right.
That's easy shit.
Right.
I'm going to tell you how you can help yourself get through the times that suck. Real life. This is real life. 90% of your life will suck. 10% will be fucking happy. You may be a lucky guy and have a lot of fucking money, have a great ass woman, all this shit. Trust me, one-on-one with that fucking guy, he's missing something. His life still sucks because he hasn't faced something that bothered him his whole fucking life. Something is still eating that motherfucker up.
Almost everybody.
Everybody.
Man, I love it. I love it. I actually let that clip run a little long. I just wanted to actually have that part of the clip where he was talking about not caring if people liked him. Like, that is such a big thing. That's what took him to where he became, as he calls it, uncommon amongst uncommon people. Because he just didn't care. He released it. He used to be a person who was like, whatever this person says, I'm going to also say that, and so we can connect and be friends. And how many times do we do that with our family, with our friends? I've talked about it before, that tribe. You want tribe, you want connection, and you don't want to be outcasted. But what kind of beauty happens in your life when you do separate yourself and you do allow yourself to be outcasted and you do find peace and an acceptance in that, and you just keep on doing the thing that it is that you feel like you're called to do, incredible things happen. Absolutely incredible things happen. You could become like David Goggins. Look what he became. By not caring what other people thought, by just leaving that part of him behind, shedding that part, letting that part die, that part that needed validation and acceptance from everybody. By letting that die, he became alone, and in being alone, he went through suffering, and in going through suffering, he improved himself to an extreme degree. And then, as he said, he became the man that you see before you today. But that only came when he decided, I'm going to not care anymore if people like me. I'm going to do what I do. And now what I'm saying, it sounds lonely. But again, and I've talked about this before, look what happened. He found tribe. He found friends like Joe Rogan and Cameron Haynes. He found, go check his website. This guy is touring. He found hundreds, thousands of people who are like, I love what you do. I want to do what you do. I have the same mindset as you. He's found thousands and thousands of people. And it was all by releasing the acceptance of a few. The acceptance of one or two friends, couple of family members, a handful of people that had him chained up as this person, or have you right now are chained up as the person you are because you do not want to upset family and friends. And if you'll just break away from that, there are thousands of people who will love the person that you actually are, who will love the person that you want to build yourself into. Thousands. It's just a lonely road to get there. But it's not lonely for that long. And if you're just willing to go through that little, in the grand scheme of a life, that little blip of, man, it was lonely and I wanted to improve myself and no one thought I could do this and no one thought I could do that. And I just distanced myself and worked on myself. Just go through that little part. Because everybody who you see successful, they have that story. And then they find a bunch of people who are on the same type of stuff as them. You'll find people who are on the same type of stuff as you. There's a thing you want to do. There's a way you want to be. Oh, jeez. There's a way you want to be. And you could 100% do it. But you can't, and it's so hard and it's so counterintuitive because the people that you've had around you forever, and you feel like you need them, and you feel like without them that life won't be as good. And it won't. Because in order to move on to greatness, sometimes you have to let go of good. Your life won't be good anymore. It'll become great because it'll become authentic. It'll become purposeful. It'll become driven. It'll become passionate. It'll become you. Really you. The real you. Man, I love this. I love that Joe Rogan met David Goggins. I love it so much. If they didn't actually do this podcast, where would I don't know if you're a David Goggins fan. I'm a big David Goggins fan. I don't know where I would be. I don't know where so many people would be. Like, if you listen to his book, he wanted to go to Delta Force and some of those guys just disappear because they're just on mission. He would have just never, I'm so glad he failed Delta Force. We would have never had this guy. Funny how that works. Because he failed, he's able to touch millions of people. His failure to get into Delta Force resulted in all of us knowing who he is and loving him and learning from him. Man, I have a client and she said something very, very, I quote it all the time now. She said, get into your life. Get into your life. Get in. I'm out.